Welcome, friends, to the Word Cloud Tarot Show, direct from the Tarodrome here in cyberspace in front of an audience of tarot cartoons. Today is the 5th of November 2024, and this week Kemi Badenoch has been elected leader of the Conservative Party. So we thought we'd do a quick tarot reading to find out a bit about who she is and how she'll lead. We'll use this, the Word Cloud Tarot Happy Toast deck. Each card has a drawing by the amazing Happy Toast, plus the meaning of the card is written onto the card itself in a word cloud. This makes our reading very transparent. You can tell that the cards mean what we say they mean. Today we'll do the usual 5-card cross. The card representing the past is... it's the Queen of Cups. The Queen is a religious and spiritual card representing a faithful theologian, and indeed Kemi was Minister for Faith and Communities. Although she has described herself as agnostic, she says she has culturally Christian values. An analysis of her metaphysical psyche may conclude that she has a subliminal emotional belief in a natural order, so she's a gender-critical feminist with an intuitive understanding that some things are just innate. The card representing hidden influences is the Four of Cups, luxury. Her own personal circumstances, the hidden water in which she swam while following her beliefs, is that of comparative luxury. She's been a bank director and a wealth manager. This leads to some ignorance and complacency, a cynical disdain for people less fortunate. That, combined with the rigidity of her moralistic thinking, ends with disregard or indifference to the suffering. It leads to disinterest in the fate of others, hostility to anyone less fortunate, sorrowful, wistful despondency at their lack of character, instead of judgment on the society that let them down. The card representing external influences, the 18th trump card, the Moon. This card describes the madness and the panic and the treachery in the Conservative Party that will lead to her betrayal. The party is filled with dishonest, powerless, hopeless, deluded wolves, good at deceit and slander and subterfuge and duplicity. Badenoch must have mistrust in her own team because they have resentment, despair and insecurity about the hopeless political situation. And that will lead to disorder and to unhappy anxiety in the ranks. She's in danger even from her own party as they face dreadful doubt and frustration at the reality of the polls. The next card represents her now as she takes charge of the party, and that card is the Seven of Wands, valour. The provocative, foolhardy battle of the anti-wokeness crusades. She's tenaciously battling the culture wars. She needs adversity, so she needs an enemy, a potential opponent to be fought against for honour. It's not exactly a new trick for a Conservative leader to start a fearless war on scapegoats, to be boldly, bravely confronting a made-up adversary, adding hurdles to those feeling oppressors or roadblocks to those facing challenging times. And how will all that work out? The card representing the final outcome is... it's the Nine of Trumps, the Hermit. So, not that well then. She'll be abandoned in seclusion, ostracised in loneliness. Her prayerful, critical, unilateral refusing of security to the vulnerable will backfire. She thinks she's behaving responsibly by withdrawing assistance, protection, help and safeguards from her scapegoats. But her party aren't the Reform Party, and her voters are even less the Reform Party. So she'll find herself alone in solitude until her party betray her. In summary then, we find Kemi's not very explicit religious, but he is a moral thinker driven by theological certainty. This thinking, combined with the hidden influence of her relative luxury, leads her to disdain, hostility, indifference and rigid cynicism. Meanwhile, the party around her are treacherous, deceitful wolves filled with resentment and mistrust. So she intends to lead with valour, fight a crusade against oppressive wokeness, and tenaciously battle the culture wars. But most of the country aren't crazed moralistic wokeness warriors, and most of those who are already joined Reform. So she'll just end up isolated and abandoned, doing a poor Farage impression until she's eventually betrayed by her party. That's what the cards tell me anyway. You can get a deck just like this to see what the cards tell you from wordcloudtarot.com. There you can also join the mailing list to be notified of new episodes, or you can follow us on the Fediverse at wordcloudtarot at wordcloudtarot.com, or on PeerTube at wordcloudtarot@dalliance.network. Or we also cross-post to the horrible private financial extraction machines at YouTube, TikTok and Rumble. Thanks for watching. If you thought this was fun or good or true or weird, tell a friend. They almost certainly haven't seen it, and so they won't yet know what we now know about Kemi Badenoch's hermit leadership. Until next time, farewell.